All right, welcome to the show, guys. This is Joe Tolliver, the host, with Al Michaels, co-host on Comics Cast. We've got
Hey
King of
guys.
Comics here in his team, Reyes. We have a chance to talk with them for a while. Now, listen, we just started off. YouTube is still building, so please go ahead and follow us there. We're talking with Pedro and Comics because Jimmy is a total beast. He started this whole sort of new wave. He's brought artists from all over the world together, and their newest creation, their comic. We're going to talk about what they're doing now for their newest Indiegogo campaign. And from what I understand, we talked beforehand on the show that there might be some goodies that might be passed out to you, the audience. So make sure you guys are following us on YouTube as well as Facebook. We are Comics Cast on Facebook and
Yes.
Indie Comics Cast on YouTube. You can find us on either one. So that being said, Jimmy, can you start us off with the show? Tell us a little bit more about yourself. You've been on the show before, but you're a huge, just absolutely, I'm a huge fan of yours. I've been watching you on YouTube. Total beast. Thank you for being on the show. Thanks for bringing your team on the show. And we'll just start off from here.
No, thank you so much. We're really excited about page one, and both about getting to share with everybody what we're doing. And if people are wondering, in case they're wondering, like who is Jimmy? I was a comic book inker. I got to work with guys like David Finch, Brett Booth. I worked on such titles as Marvel Action Avengers. So I've gotten to do a few things. Work with guys like ZHC. If you guys are watching on YouTube or have seen the guy that has 14 million subscribers on YouTube. I worked with him as well on his first comic book, and I worked with Kevin Grievous from Underworld. He was the actor. He played one of the werewolves. He also did a create-own book through Red 5, and I got to work with him on that. And so, and so after after
like on Facebook, Jimmy, that was like those things on Facebook where they ask you how old were you when you knew that somebody did something. Like the fact that he created that comic book, I was like, I wanted to make that post. Like, how did I not know that was his comic book the entire time, and he was just doing sort of like a guest appearance. That's pretty wild. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, he created another book called Zombies of Mass Destruction for Red 5 Comics, and they hired me on as the inker. So I got to work with him. I got to meet him, and I have to say I don't ever want to stand next to the guy. I think I reach his mid crotch area, and it's just it feels uncomfortable talking to the man. I got to talk to him from a distance. Because I don't ever want to talk to another man's crotch. But he's a big guy. He's really huge, really big guy. Super nice. Him and I think it was his wife or his girlfriend. I'm not sure who I met, but she was. I don't remember if it was his wife. So I hope I'm not outing the poor guy. His wife's like, "What? Who was that woman?" But they were both super nice people. So then, after getting to work with, my favorite artist growing up and wanting to emulate was David Finch. Not only did I get to work with him, we became friends. And Dave and I, we hang out. He comes on my stream, and vice versa. We go on his stream. I go over to Robert Marzullo's, and the three of us kind of hang out. And I thought, where do you go after inking? You can scratch off your bucket list. The top guy you want to work with. And then it kind of just came up, through the coronavirus happened, and a mist of everything being, looking gloomy, and a lot of people are out of work, a lot of people in fear. And so I started doing this live streaming. I had no idea what I was going to do or take the live stream, and then I get on the live stream. I find guys like Mark and there's guys that are watching right now that I see that are commenting from my live stream that we just started hanging out. Dave, I hadn't seen in about 20 years, and Dave writes me up. He finds me on the live stream, writes me up and stuff, and we start talking, catching up. Then on the live stream, all of a sudden, I just this huge community starts coming together, and then so I didn't really know what I was going to do. I thought I would do something on a platform like this. I invited David Finch, Meredith Finch, Kevin Sharp, and a bunch of other of my peers and my friends that are professionals in the comic book industry. I brought them on the platform, and I started doing a platform like this, started doing that. And then I just attracted a lot of artists, and I thought, I'm going to let the stream evolve into whatever it's going to evolve into. and it just became a community. And Mark Goldfine came in and he said, I'd like to show some of my art. And I said, you know what? Yeah, let's open up the stream, invite everybody in. So we do that. We got guys like replicants from our live stream, and we got Rithen Studios. He's going to yell at me for John because I never get his studio name right. And we opened up the platform. We started letting artists in and show their work, and it became an art community. And we discovered a lot of talent through there. Joe Wills, who's also now one of our creators, and he's one of our members in Page One, and but he's not here today. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to make it. But this powerful group came together, strong talent that were all there on the platform. Sarah, the colorist, she's part of our team as well. And I thought we need to do something with all this talent, all these people. And David Finch said, "Hey man, if you do this book, you put this together, I'll do a cover." And I just went, "Wow!" Like it's blown away. Blew me away that all of a sudden I've got all this talent. Dave Philpott, who I hadn't seen in a while, he writes me and says, "Hey, I'd like to write for you." So we got together, started writing, pitching the idea. Dave Finch said, he offered to do the cover. We got Andrew Dahlhaus, who said, "Hey, I seen the artwork that you're doing. I want to be the colorist. Let me help out. Let me get in on this." And just this team of talent just came together, and it came organically, and Page One formed, and we shot around different ideas. And I was sitting around one day and I thought, what if we came up with ideas of someone who could turn into a dragon? What do you think, Dave? And then Dave created a whole world from there.
Nice.
And, yeah.
Let me stop you before we move forward. I just wanted to make sure that it's known. Like, okay, so everyone who watched that and listened to Jimmy say all that, like, one of the big things I think that people bypass is the idea of how to form those tight-knit communities and those groups. Is like you offered up a service. Like you busted your butt for years. You created digital inks that were huge. Like you're well known for that in the community, in the artist community. You had YouTube channels for a long time. You offered up that opportunity in that space. You created that space for people to talk to David Finch, talk to you and others. That was incredible. And then I think that's a lot of the best ways to create those tight-knit communities is to offer something back. And I think you're one of the top people to look for on what it means to bust your butt and then give something back to the community. And then the community will come back to you and develop these great teams instead of just throwing stuff against the wall and hoping people will do your project. Doing stuff like this is just great. And I think you guys are a great example as you guys formed Page One Comics. But go ahead, Dave. I didn't mean to interrupt you too hard there.
Oh, well, the thing that I wanted to say about that, just to kind of piggyback with Jimmy and actually piggyback on something that you said is, with me, when I first started out, I was lucky enough to get something published right out of the gate. But this was back in 1990. And I had 2 stories published. I was, 18, 19 years old. And I was like, oh, this is easy. But then everything I tried after that, I couldn't get anything else published. And it wasn't until I met Jimmy that I really felt like I had an actual shot at getting something published again. And the difference between what Jimmy was doing, what everybody else was doing is I went to digital webbing, if you remember, back when, well, they still do it, but, trying to find an artist to work with, everybody wanted money. Everybody wanted to get paid for what they were doing. And I would look at their art and it would be, I guess, substandard, but everybody still wanted so much money, to help someone like me, a writer, try to get his vision realized. Whereas Jimmy just said, I would like to work with a writer. And when I sent him my submission, he looked at it and said, you're the one. And he didn't ask for money up front, for to do anything. He understood, like what you were saying, it's a group project, right? It's a community project. And it was so refreshing to see that. And it, I think that to get projects off the ground, I think people have to look at it that way, that in the beginning, nobody's going to get paid. You have to come together. I come from a background of being in bands. And when you're in a garage band, the singer doesn't have a whole lot of equipment to bring in, but everybody understands that, you're going to have to spend money on your own gear and that everybody's kind of at an equal standing. And I think that's the difference between what Jimmy did up front, where nobody else did that, who I was trying to work with.
Good point. It's a good point. I mean, how do you build that community up as a leader, Jimmy? Like that, I think there's a lot of people that try to do it, and then they offer maybe bad expectations, or they're not willing to put in the work, and they expect everybody else to do something that's their project, and they just want, free labor. Where do you find that balance? I know I struggle with that with Comics Cast. I mean, we're not running around getting paid here.
Well, I mean, when I originally started, what Dave was talking about, that was back in 2003, 2002. I opened up and started my own community. Oh, wow. I created a forum for artists to be able to come in and show their work. And it was a platform. So I kind of started the idea back then. And then life, throws a wrench. I got divorced. And then after medically, I was diagnosed with heart failure. And so I went through, it took a lot of years to get back to where I was. And then I was at a point where I was medically retired, and I had a whole lot of time on my hands. I have two hands. And so I was sitting around, and I'm now engaged. I mean, I'm in a new relationship, and things were, life picked up, turned back around, it's getting really good. And I was sitting around doing nothing. And I said, in 2016, I'm going to make a serious commitment for 1 year. Every day, I'm going to ink a page every day. I don't care if it's good or bad. So I dedicated a year of comic book inking, and I focused on it. Then a year later, I started up my own YouTube channel. David Finch finds me and writes me and says, "Hey, I've got some covers. I'd like to know if you want to work with me." And I thought I was getting trolled at first, because Dave Finch picking me out of YouTube, it's unheard of. And so it happened. I used YouTube as my platform, and it got me work, got me into the mainstream. I mean, I've inked so much stuff with Dave and got so much exposure, and it was really exciting, to have that. So then when I started up my own stream, I started looking around. Right before I started my own stream, I started looking around, and there was no platform for me to get on. I could watch everybody else's stream, talk about their products, and everybody's out there trying to get word out about what they're doing. But there wasn't a place for people like me who didn't have a stream at the time to get on and to be able to expose, what I was trying to do, show people my talent. So I got on different streams with a lot of other artists, and I could tell them in the chat, "Hey, I'm an artist, blah, 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 go here, see my work." Nobody cared. So then I thought, you know what, I will start up my own stream. And I invited my friends over, like, Dave Finch, Meredith Finch, a bunch of different other people that came on. And since then, we've had groups of different people come on there. And all of a sudden that started building a community. We're at like 7,500 or something like that. And there's new people joining every day. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to open up the community. I didn't have an intention of being a leader. I don't consider myself any type of leader or anything like that. But it just seems like I'm not sure if it's the fact that the type of artwork, the type of community I was already involved with, with professionals, that seems to attract more talent. So I'm not sure exactly what it is. Like you said, you're trying to build Comic Cast. Some of it is, when any startup, any company, whether it was Apple, Microsoft, and all that, a lot of it started in mom and dad's garage or basement and with no money, right? Page One Comics. We started the same way. So we have to have people that, to keep the overhead low, we have to have people that can do everything right now. And I tell everybody that comes on, that watches, be happy where you are right now, because I am now using every bit of talent and experience from life that I've had to learn outside of comic books while I was growing up. Now that I'm doing Page One, I've taken my experience as a web developer, taken my experience in television, taken my experience in sales, marketing. I'm using it all now in Page One to build it up. And I've got some stuff. I got my screen up. If people want to have an idea, I share with you.
Yeah, let's.
All right.
I'm gonna add it to the screen right now.
This way, though, I'm going to play this, and I've got the audio selected on here, so we should be able to hear it. This way, people get an idea of what page one is real quick, and not have to just listen to me talk about page one. So here's the visual.
Well, hello. Thank you for your interest in Dragon Rage. Dragon Rage is the action-packed fantasy 22-page comic book that will feature cover art by superstar comic book artist.
I love that beat.
We need the help of backers in order to get the book colored and printed. The artwork for Dragon Rage will be completed prior to launching our Indiegogo campaign. So don't hesitate in joining that mailing list so that you don't miss any of the limited offers. Well, enough talk. Let's take a look and see what the artwork to Dragon Rage looks like.
Can you control the rage?
Rory grew up an orphan and a servant to the kingdom of Blackcliff. Not long ago, she discovered a terrifying truth hidden from her all her life. Nuri was born of dragons, and sometimes she becomes one. She is now a reluctant weapon protecting her people and defending the kingdom. But when a dangerous adversary reveals secrets about her past, Nuri learns Blackcliff's greatest threat may be herself.
Nice.
Righteous. Very righteous.
And so,
Jim, go ahead and make sure you put the Indiegogo
Remember that
campaign
magical
up
afternoon the
in the
whole
link in the
family
private
spent
chat. We'll
tweeting
make
and
sure it gets
texting?
up.
yeah, I'm going to go ahead and
we'll bring up the Indiegogo campaign as well. Oh, he left. It's all right. So Dave, Mark, so how much of that? I know we talked beforehand about you've got a small portion. I think it was an 8 to 10 page comic that's going to be included. 5 page, sorry.
Yeah,
how
it's a
much
5-page
did you work any of those interior pages, or was that Jimmy that did those interior pages?
Those are all Jimmy's pages.
Yeah. Okay. So he did the pencils as well as the inks on those.
Yeah.
No. Okay.
Nice.
Are we
nice.
allowed to know about your 5 pages, or is that against the rules? Where are we at with that?
Well, that's been announced. So.
It's been out. Okay. Good. Hey, welcome back, Jimmy. I was talking to Mark about his 5 pages that he put together for the campaign.
oh yeah, I clicked stop screen and it bumped me out of the screen. I was like, what in the world's going on? But Joe Wills is one of our artists, and so he just texted me right now. So I sent him the link, so he might pop in. So we keep an eye out for Joe as well.
Great. I want as much as we can fit on here from Page Road Comics.
Yeah, I want.
I think we can get. What do we got? We have 5 now. We can get up to 10.
Up to 10 people now. I think Stream Art supports. Yeah. But just
you talking to me about breaking the internet.
And we've I wanted people to see what page one looks like. What type of what the quality is of the work and what we're all producing here. It's a lot of hard work. And what's really tough too is before I brought people on, luckily I've had experience working in comics, so I knew what it was like day by day, inking comics, every day, doing it for, a day job. And then, so when I brought people on, I wanted to make sure they understood and, the dedication and time that it takes to develop a comic book. So luckily we only lost one person from the team, but it wasn't that he wasn't dedicated or wasn't available to do the type of work. It was just we had different business models. So and that's okay. Everybody has a different type of model and how they want to do their company. And so Page One Comics originally started out, it was Jimmy Reyes art. That was my personal brand. So when I brought these guys on, I didn't want it to be a personal brand anymore. I wanted it to be a brand. And so we brought in Dave Philpott, Mark Goldfine, Joe Wills, and now we have a second title in development that's coming out there. And Joe Wills hopefully will be here in a little bit if he can. And show you guys, what our second product is. But I wanted to give the viewers the opportunity to see what it's like. I do have the link. I'm going to post it here for you in the private chat, so that if you can post that for us in the comment section. People,
can you follow that, please?
Yeah. And so if you like, either I can show the screen of the Indiegogo campaign, people can see it, or if you like, however you want to do that.
I think Alan's on it now, so it shouldn't.
Yeah, I'm on it right now.
Oh, okay, cool.
Walk us through a little bit. So give us a little bit of. All right, so you did the pencils and inks for your first comic with Page One Comics, right? So Dragon Rage is your baby from panels basically up to colors.
Well, I mean, I can't say it's my baby. I mean, Dave's either the mommy or daddy of it too. Because
I'll be the mommy today. That's fine.
the bearded mommy.
Who is his daddy and what does he do?
He so basically, like I said, I was sitting on the couch one day. We talked about maybe getting together, doing a project, and I thought, what do I want to draw? Because you have to be interested in this for the next 2 years, or what if it gets big and you got to stay on the book for another few years? Is this something that I want to draw for the next few years? So I thought, what do I want to draw? And I thought, you know what? I love Game of Thrones. I love, a lot of these animes and fantasy stuff. So I said, dragons. Let's create something with dragons. What if a young girl?
Game of Thrones and anime. Speaking my language.
Yeah. So I thought, there was Khaleesi. She was the mother of dragons, and I thought, what if instead she was able to become a dragon? And so that was the idea, and I pitched it over to Dave. And of course, I mean, there are other products out there with dragons and other products that people turn in, dragons. It's not like I came up with the idea of dragons, but it's how you tell the story. So I know I need a good writer, and I need somebody to add meat to it. So Dave, I mean, how did you feel when I went over and I just said, hey man, I want to draw dragons? And that was pretty much it. That's my pitch to Dave.
Yeah, my first thought was the same thing as a show like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, where it's like the initial premise is kind of silly if you think about it. It's a girl who kills vampires, and how far do you get with that? But I think it becomes more about the characters, right? And so that was the thing I knew I had to do. And with Jimmy, in a lot of ways, I know that the script that I write, and I don't know if you've ever heard this theory before, but a lot of times when writers write scripts, they're only writing it for one person. That's the artist, because it's after that, it becomes the comic that everybody reads, but the script is primarily just for the artist. And so for Jimmy, I knew that I had to have a lot of things that he would be interested in doing. And so really my focus is to write something that I think is going to entertain Jimmy first,
Well, let me cut you guys in here real quick. Cut you off. Jimmy Cage believes you guys are the cutest couple ever. All right.
Oh, Johnny Cage, yeah.
Yeah, we are.
Couple. And Al Michael, did you get their page up, or am I going to switch over to Jimmy?
Let's see. I got the one he showed me on the private chat one, but in terms of like a.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead and pull that up so I can share it real quick.
Okay, yeah.
I can see the picture. That's why I want.
But I'm not on it.
The live behind the scenes, in the scenes conversations here. All right, you got it up?
Yeah. Let me go. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me add this. That's what you meant, right?
There we go. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Your middle tab.
That's us. You got to go to the other page.
Not the right one?
No, keep going over.
YouTube?
And Nation.
Oh, he doesn't have it open. That's actually the YouTube channel.
You didn't get it. All right, go ahead.
Do you want me to show
the screen here?
Sorry about that, guys.
I'll
I'm so sorry.
No problem.
All right.
I have it up on my screen. Do you want me to share my screen? I can. This first. Let me just show you guys. This is actually.
You're up.
Oh, okay. This right here. We'll get to the Indiegogo here. This is a trading card, that collector card that we are going to give away for free. Right now, these are at the printer. They're coming in from the printers. This is what the cover looks like, the backside of the card. And then this is what the front is. It's of a character. His name is Thrago. And Thrago is one of our main characters in the book. So what I was getting at earlier is if you saw that video intro to page 1, and you now see things like this trading card, it is all done by me in there. So you have to have multi-talents. You've got to be able to do a lot of things. But I know that I can't do this on my own, even though you see all the design work, all the branding, all that is done, by myself here in this computer that I'm sitting right in front of. All the artwork, all the videos, everything, it's all done, edited right here. And so that's the great thing about today's technology, is that we can bring that overhead down. Sure, I mean, it's a big investment in the computer and stuff like that, but one guy can do almost all of it. Even so, I know I need a team. I cannot write. I know what my weaknesses are. I can't write. I know that the Indiegogo campaign itself, I couldn't run properly and do all this stuff. It would be way too much. So, right now it looks like I'm doing everything, but really it's at the point where it's starting to shift now. And Dave Philpott is handling a lot of our deals with marketing. We've got merchandise. So Dave Philpott brought this merchandise deal to us. He's also the writer. He's also going to run the Indiegogo campaign. When it comes to the fulfillment part, we're probably going to split that, because we're predicting, based on our mailing list right now on Indiegogo, if we got 50% of that, we're going to have a huge campaign. There are so many people that we're trying to figure out, already on the mailing list. We're trying to figure out how to offer enough tiers and enough benefits to complete it for everybody. What if everybody on the mailing list were to back us? Then, you know what I mean? Get on that mailing list, because the items are going to be limited, because there's no way we're going to be able to have like that much stuff for people. So it's best to be on that mailing list so that you don't miss out on things like this. But this trading card, to show people how devoted, how serious we are, that we're not expecting these people to just spend their hard-earned money and back us. We're investing our own money. We are paying to have this printed up, and then we're going to give them away for free. We're going to pay to ship them out to people. So how do you win stuff like this? The trading cards, the free preview book, the bookmarks, the buttons. This is all stuff that we're giving away prior to our Indiegogo campaign. So our pre-launch has goodies already. And if you guys like the goodies that we have on our pre-launch, just imagine the stuff that we have planned for the actual backing of the book. It's great stuff, but unfortunately it's limited. So it's, hop on while I can. Yeah. So what was the other thing I was going to say to you was, so this here is a trading card, so I designed that. But where do people go? Where is that Indiegogo campaign? So I'm going to stop the screen here for you, and then you can we can share the. I'm going to share out that screen for you right now. And this is so when you come to the Dragon Raid page, that video that we watched earlier, it is so that it was actually designed for the Indiegogo campaign. It's to try to give people the idea of what we're about, what we're planning, and why they should sign up for that mailing list. Because there are like I said, there are benefits just to watching our live streams. We give away goodies, and so we have that. If those goodies are something that you like, then you're definitely going to want to get in on this. So we have tell people a little bit about what page 1 is. We also have the inside look into Dragon Rage, and then we also have some of the different variant covers. We don't have the Dave Finch cover revealed yet, and in fact, I talked to Dave a couple of days ago. I'm not sure if people probably saw me on Robert Marzullo's live stream, hanging out with Dave Finch and Robert Marzullo, and Dave and I were talking about the cover, and so actually Dave's working on it right now. So we're still working on that, but we're probably not going to reveal that until our actual campaign launch. That's when we're going to reveal the Dave Finch thing. Yeah, but yeah, so this is it, and you guys don't want to miss
great.
it. Yeah.
Badass this.
Yeah, I just want to step in and say something. I don't know how the impact of how cool it is to know that your first like real comics work is going to have a cover by David Finch.
And it's the first time that there is a David Finch artwork ever offered through Indiegogo. So for those people that only buy exclusively, Indiegogo, then this is your chance, your opportunity to get David Finch artwork. And there's going to be some really good goodies with a version of our comic book that is going to be David Finch available.
Nice. Oh, that's gonna be fantastic to pick up.
I'm super excited about that cover.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a real sweet deal.
Well, he's Canadian, so he's super nice, Jimmy. Maybe we can talk him into getting into an ice cream truck and like driving around and hand delivering the comics to the different, contributors, and along with some ice cream and stuff. I think he'd do it. Yeah.
That'd be nice. I'll be your first customer.
Well, Dave follows my videos, right? So he's probably watching this. We support each other. I watch his stuff. He watches mine, and Robert Marzullo. We all. So Dave, if you're watching this, I saw a comedian on the other day, and Jim Gaffigan or something like that. He says, it's a misconception. Canadians are not polite. They're just very good at the what is that thing where you insult people but you do it in a polite way.
Right.
I'm ruining the punchline. I forget what it was called, but they're very passive aggressive. That's what it is. He goes, Canadians are polite. They're passive aggressive, and so the more and more I hang out with more I get to meet more and more Canadians, I'm starting to go, hey, maybe there's some truth to that joke. Yeah.
Well, we've got a lot of stuff. We've got a lot of things going on. We got a lot of comics coming out. The indie community is kind of booming right now. Obviously because of COVID, a lot of people are streaming. Obviously, we also have the online Comic-Con that's going on from San Diego, doing their stuff from home. But people are here. People are here watching this. You guys are unique. You've got a foot in both the indie world and the professional world, Jimmy. And what if obviously this it's gonna be a cool project. You guys are a cool bunch of people, so I know I'm gonna be excited about it when it launches. What is it that's special that is about this book and about this project, your guys' movement with Page One, that sets you guys apart from some of these other indie guys? That like your story, your personal story. Now this is a loaded question, but I think it goes into why people are getting back. Yeah.
Well, Page One is right now. It's three guys. It is myself, Dave Philpott, and Joe Wills. We are the three that are in there, but we do have an extended family where we do have Mark Goldfine, who is now our talent coordinator, and he's also an artist. He's also working in art. So if you guys want to become part of Page One, submit your work. It has to go through Mark Goldfine. So he is very important. But just the partners are the three of us. But we do have Mark Goldfine. We do also have Sarah, the colorist, and that's so right now that's us. We're a small group, but everyone involved. What sets us apart is that everybody we're all equally excited about it. I'm excited when I talk to Mark. Sometimes he gets me hyped up, and I'm supposed to be the hype guy, and he's talking about projects and he's excited. He's talking about variations to the artwork. Yeah. He just gets what we're doing. So we said, you know what? We need to extend beyond the three of us. We need to bring in a few more people. So we brought in Mark Goldfine, Sarah as well. She's Sarah, the colorist, in your chat. She's very, very
crime.
Plot thickens.
So she's extremely gifted, talented, and everybody's really devoted. But they are the first talent that we've brought on. So it is they're our extended family. But the core three members are myself, Dave Philpott, and Joe Wills. And between myself, I can pencil ink. I do all the graphics and everything that you see up here, the web design. Dave Philpott, as I mentioned before, he's got our marketing deal. So we've got some cool merch, and we got a little hint right up here of some stuff that'll be coming up. We also got, of course, the regular kind of merchandise that people want. We've got hat deals. We've got T-shirts and all this cool, fun stuff that we don't want to reveal just yet. But we got plans to give away some of that as well. And Dave Philpott came in, and he's done that. So everybody involved in here has something to contribute. But so we've got a lot of people that want to be involved in page one, and we're super excited. We've got people that haven't become involved yet that we definitely want on. We've got offers from people saying, hey, I just want to help out other talented writers, artists. But what's going to set us apart is the fact that, for one, our devotion, our ability, our talent, not only is our passion to this, the art medium, and to the fact that we care about the comic book industry. We don't just want to come in and saturate it with, all our merchandise and make 20 different variations to Dragon Rage. We want to focus our passion, excitement, all our energy on the core title. So we want to give quality every issue, and to show people how confident we are in our product. Not saying that, we feel we're the best, writer or artist, but the fact that we want to show people how serious we are, that we are not only expecting people to spend their hard money backing our book, but how devoted we are backing our own book, that we are investing money. And so we created a free preview, 12-page preview that people can either flip through digitally if you want to. Go to pageonecomics.com. And then in our preview page, if you scroll down, there is a free 3D flip book that you can flip through and actually hear the pages flip.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
And so this virtual book here is available to the world, to everybody. So for those that are inside the United States, we are giving away free preview printed version of this book that you see up here, with a cover by myself and a second cover by Mark Goldfine. So we'll get to see the Mark Goldfine artwork. And so we wanted to show Mark and Sarah, who came on and said, hey, they submitted in fan art. They did artwork up front. They didn't just say, hey, what can Page One do for me? And hey, I want exposure. They showed us what they could do. They showed us their dedication. They put the work out, presented to us. Their presentation was so wonderful. We said, how can this be fan art? It's so great. So I don't have it, the fan art on up on here on this particular on the website, only because I removed the image of Nuri with wings on her back because of the I don't want people were getting the idea that Nuri was a winged dragon-like character. She's not. She's actually a young girl who transforms into a dragon. So the image that Mark did was beautiful work, and we printed on the cover to show them how much we appreciate that artwork, and we brought them on, and they're doing their own story. And so I removed that image from anything of Dragon Rage, only because I don't want Dragon Rage. I want to control the brand. I want the imaging right now. It's very, very important when you're launching. So, but yeah, so anyway, that's the Dragon Rage. That's the Indiegogo. As I mentioned, we do have the free preview book. Can I show that to the camera? The free giveaway?
Let's 1 second. All right. Let's do this.
So have you ever seen anybody come on Indiegogo and give away so much stuff, before their pre-launch? So this is the stuff that we're giving away. This is a 12-page free preview book printed for anybody in the United States. Comes with a bookmark in the back. If you flip the bookmark over on the opposite side, it has a picture of our main character, Nuri, and Jack, the Fennec Fox. And then we also have we have a few more things planned to give away. As I said, those trading cards. We're going to be giving away the trading cards. We're also going to be giving away pins. I also have pins. The pins are already back. I'm just waiting on the packaging for the pins. And all this is absolutely free just for watching our live streams, catching us on either someone else's live stream or our live stream, our own live stream on Page One Comics YouTube channel. So yeah, that's
righteous.
Yeah, you guys are on the Indie Comics Cast or Comics Cast on Facebook, so you are streaming on ours. I'm basically sitting back and enjoying the ride because that's what I do when I watch you. So this is totally your show at this point, man. Go ahead and enjoy it.
Well,
however you want to do the giveaway, feel free.
Okay, and Dave, do you want to show your version? This is our Mark Goldfine cover. This is the image that I spoke about, that we love the image so much, although it's not what Nuri looks like, we still love the image and want to support Mark. So we got it printed up as this preview cover.
Yeah, I have to go grab it though. So you have to give me a second.
Well, in the
and I'm gonna
meantime,
grab it. Yeah, let Jimmy talk, and then I'll go grab it. I'll be right
Well, Jimmy's
back.
been going on a filibuster. I'm super excited about page one, and I feel like So let's get Mark. We'll talk a little bit about his. He's got a backup story, and he came to us and he said, "Hey guys, I want to do something sequential artwork." And so we said, "Not a problem. Dave Philpott can write something up for you." And so he wrote up a story specifically for Mark Goldfine. Oh, here is the Mark Goldfine cover.
Sarah's colors are what really make it.
Righteous.
And I say Mark Goldfine, but it's Mark Goldfine / Sarah Perryman, who is Sarah the colorist in our chat. She did the painted color work. Yes, Sarah is super talented. It's a two-man team.
I'll say, Sarah, that's a really impressive skill work on that color.
Yeah, it's a great team. They came together organically. They found each other on our live stream. It isn't like Match.com. I mean, both these people are married or whatever, but their talent was married. They found each other, and together they make this incredible team. So when they asked us, "Hey, we've got we want to do a something sequential in the book, how could we say no?" We're like, man. And Mark understood about the talent that we want to bring on. And so, Mark, go ahead. I want you to also share your Discord and things that you do.
Okay. Show off my Discord and stuff we do. Well, the whole point with the Discord was, Jimmy brought together this great community. And I was thinking, okay, Jimmy streams, he has this hangout twice a week. Wouldn't it be great if these people, because there's a lot of talented people there, and I just figured, wouldn't it be great if we could just bring this all together? So outside of the streams, we could actually hang out, create a virtual bullpen, and people could show off their stuff, get feedback, and whatnot. And yeah, it's been going strong now for almost 3 months. Yeah, it's amazing. And Jimmy's on there. Dave's on there, Joe's on there as well. So it's Page One Comics is also involved with the Discord, and it's just a great community. And people are connecting there as well. Some people are going off doing their own projects as well, which was one of the reasons I started it, was so that people could also make those connections. Because what Jimmy was doing with Page One, it was extremely inspirational. It wanted to sort of build on that. As for the artwork, I don't know if I can actually show it, but I can post a link to the Discord if people who are watching this may want to join us. So just let me get that up.
And so when Mark understood what talent that I was looking for and who I wanted, we said, hey, can you be our talent coordinator? Can you find this talent, bring people on? So since that, we've hired a letterer, and we already hired a colorist who, as I said, he's a professional colorist from DC Comics, and he said, "I like what you're doing. I want to be involved in the project." So he started working with us early on and doing our color work. But we've since then we've hired a letterer. So we are still looking for new talent, new people. We want to start building that relationship with people, because there is no room for failure. We are like Cobra Kai, like failure is not an option. We're like the comic book Marines, we're going to go in there and we're expecting success. That's it. That's the only option. But we're realists. We understand. And you start up a company, it could take time. And what the key thing that's very important is, I watched Todd McFarlane, and this is very important. And I say this on my stream, and I don't want to discourage anybody out there. But Todd McFarlane said this, and he didn't say this to discourage anyone. But Todd McFarlane said, "Nobody cares about your creator-owned book." And what that means is that you can't just create a book and expect people to just go out and pick it up, right, and just get it. What that means is that you have to go out there and show people why they should buy your book. You know, you've got to go out there and get in front of people, you know, and if you ever seen if you ever guys walked in a big city or walked in any of your cities, you're walking by and there's a guy on the street saying, hey, listen to my mixtape, listen to my demo. And he's handing you a free CD. I mean, this is back in the 90s, you know, but he was handling that hustle, man. He was willing to get out there to anybody who was going to, you know, to take his free CD, to listen to his, you know, it was a sample of it. And I remember I popped that in my CD player in my car, and it was 2 songs, and this guy was really talented. And then later on, that guy became a very, very rich musician. And I went, oh my God, I should have supported this guy. I could have known this guy, you know, he's a big guy, you know, and very, very popular. And so, I didn't know we were sharing. Were we sharing my screen, or what was that?
No, we weren't sharing this. We were getting some.
I was like, did I saw that window open?
No. Like, yeah, we're trying to get something straightened out over here.
Oh yeah, no problem at all. So what I'm saying to all you out there who want to be creators, who want to do something, and I'm saying this to myself as well, and this is what I knew, is that you have to get your work out there everywhere, anywhere. It doesn't matter. Like for us on page 1, even if we will go on channels, even if they only have 1 audience member, because that one guy could tell his family, who could tell their coworkers at work, who could tell their babysitter, who could tell their dog walker, who next thing we know, you know what I mean? We got 25 people that have heard and could possibly back, you know, if 2 people out of that 25 back us. So, you know, it's important to get the word out to everyone. So I created these buttons. I created buttons to give away for free. And what I did was I want the demographic to be wide. And when I know one of our guys out there commented, I think it was Rithan, said, you know, comics like page 1 is going to help stimulate the comic book industry. So how do you do that? Well, you need to bring in new readers. What does that mean? You can't just ship to comic book stores. We can't just be available through the Indiegogo. We have to find new readers. Well, we need to create an IP that expands that demographic to all ages. The average age and comic book reader is a male, ages 22 to 35. That's the average age for comic books. It's got a smaller demographic that's opened up because of multimedia, you know, movies and things have opened it up a little more. So we've got a smaller group now that we now have. We now have women that are interested. It isn't as large as the men, but that's a whole demographic market right there. So products.
Right. Yeah. I mean, but it's also Jimmy on that. Like you're talking about expanding the market as far as like age groups, but it's also about getting it accessible to those age groups. So like getting it out of the comic shops and getting it to places where they can just pick it up. You know, getting on these pages, like getting on Instagram, getting on YouTube, just spreading the word. You know? So that is part of it.
Absolutely, yeah. And back in the 1950s, they discovered that they were advertising. Companies were advertising to men, right? Then they discovered who does all the shopping. It was all the wives back in the 50s who were doing all that. So they started shifting their advertisement to appeal to the women, to the wives, and that went boom. I mean, they made, you know, it opened up the entire market. So I believe comic books is still in that 50s style of mind frame. You know, make that super hot girl on the cover appeal to, you know, the male comic collector, when there's a huge market out there of, you know, women. Yeah. There's, you know, the LGBT community. There's everybody could enjoy comic books. So, you know, that's what we're doing at page 1. So when I designed stuff for page 1, I designed the trading card for people who are into D&D, that like D&D, both men, women, all ages, everybody who likes that. I want to bring them over to comics because not all of them read comics. I want to show them that there's a really good fantasy book in comic books that they can enjoy as well. I've created a pin that's created a really cute pin that's kind of like a pink color, not to say pink's for women, but pink, you know, is a really nice, cute color for younger people. We've got a plan to do a pin that has our Fennec Fox, cuter stuff for the young, kind of a younger generation. Not too young, but we're thinking like 13 and above, because Dragon Rage is about 13 and older. Yeah. That's another market we want to go in later, is, you know, because We got other studios that are doing books specifically for children, and we want to do that. We want to bring in those new readers and start grooming them, when they're young. Teach them to read comics when they're young, and they'll
love forever.
get them addicted early.
Well, it's starting a whole new generation. Like we're basically, we went from our generation where you're a little bit older, but not by much. So like we grew up on a lot of the comics, and then we had the boom in the '90s and all that good stuff. People wanted to collect, and then it's off as soon as they were like, oh, I can't turn around and sell this thing like Fantastic Four #1. So that little but the market is still designed to sell to collectors. So the frustrating part is getting back to where we started, which is getting in all the different shops and communicating out. So it's just, I don't think it's a weird challenge right now. And so I'm loving what you guys are doing. What's the deal with your guys' next step? I think one of the things that kind of confuse people and concern them is like when you back an Indiegogo campaign with indie guys, sometimes you'll get that first book, and then it might be 2-3 years later that another book comes out. So like, as a huge fan of fantasy and comics, once I pick up that first book, I'm like, okay, when's the next one? Because I'm already going to be excited. I already want to read the second and third book. So what do you guys think for those readers fan it out?
That's so cool. I mean,
puts you on the spot for part.
No, and actually that's something that we've addressed in the past, and that we're trying to address with everybody. So the reason that we have a live stream, and I open up the live stream not only to use as a platform, as I mentioned, to others to show their work, we also show the progress of page one, all the work that we're doing on Dragon Rage, so people can actually watch me draw live, get to see the book they're about to back live. There are a lot of videos that are we're doing more reveals as we get closer to that launch, so people not only understand the story, but worst case scenario, right? They enjoy the story, they love it, they're addicted. When's issue 2 coming out? Is there going to be an issue 2? Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I've worked in the comic book industry. I've worked for major publishers. I know what it's like to get books out there. Hey, there is.
Hey,
Joe Wheels.
Sorry I'm late.
No, not a problem, man.
Welcome to the show. Sorry to cut you off.
Because Dave,
you're done, Jimmy. But
Dave and Mark are.
Appreciate it.
Dave and Mark are introverts, man. These guys they're super talented, but they don't speak a whole lot. So we
don't get a chance to get a word in sideways.
No, exactly.
Hey, I don't know if you've noticed yet, but Jimmy has to put sunblock on his tongue to keep it from getting sunburnt because his mouth is just.
I never close it, man. I mean, I do.
I created Comics Cast. I'm the big boss around here, trying to like make sure I talk and I do all the shows and all this sort of stuff. And Jimmy comes on. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take the day off. I'm just gonna mute my mic and go get a sandwich.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Well, I want people to know that I'm truly passionate about.
You guys use it how you want.
Well, I mean, I'm excited about page one. I'm passionate. Really, to be honest, there isn't enough time in a live stream to tell everybody everything about page one. So I'm trying to fit in as much as I can, very, very quickly. There's a lot. Really, to be honest, to get more information is to really just, go over to page one, sign up for the mailing list on Indiegogo, and, watch our live streams, because we do give people these updates. We are all dedicated in this. Dragon Rage, the concept started. We're about to hit our second month. So in our second month, we already have a free preview book. I'm halfway through the book already. We got colorists. We've got a second book already, that's planned. So page one isn't going anywhere, guys. We are going to have, not only while you wait for Dragon Rage number 2, you get to see this guy, Joe Wills. That guy right there, his book comes out while you're waiting for Dragon Rage number 2. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and let Joe Wills go ahead and tell us a little bit about.
Sure, yeah. So obviously Veil of Night had a couple bumps, but we're back on track. I am basically just doing the whole book. So I'm in the process of writing it, and we're going to be I'm going to be releasing some character designs just to get get some art out there so you can see what's going on. We did go a little bit of a different direction than what we had before, so we just basically wanted to make sure that the story was coherent and make sure that the story was good, for lack of a better term. So we can definitely get those readers engulfed in the world of Veil of Night and just kind of just indoctrinate them into the whole Page One family. So yep.
We also have Andrew Dahlhaus, who's actually Andrew Dahlhaus coloring everything right now.
Yes.
That Page One. So he wants to color Dragon Rage, and he really likes what he's seen from Veil of Night. And I have some I have the Veil of Night cover if you guys want. I can share that. Let me just
pull it up. We'll pop it up.
Yeah, let me go ahead and grab that real quick, and we'll put that up here. Sorry about that. I should have had that ready, but I was like, what if Joe doesn't show up?
Well, the story has changed a bit from the last time we had that cover. There are some changes on there, but the cover that we have was from the original script that we were running with, and most of the characters are the same for the most part. There are some changes, so that may be maybe an alternate cover that we can use, because I might have to do a new cover because some of the character designs have changed since then.
But this is to give people a good idea of what Joe Will's work looks like. So when we created, I created a live stream. Back then it was Jimmy Reyes art, and I met a lot of talent, and the guys came on there showing me the work, and I was thinking, well, how are you guys not working right now? I mean, you should be slammed with work. But during the whole Corona thing right now, comic stores were ordering less, and they're still ordering less. A lot of comic stores are still trying to recover. Publishers had the pencil down thing. Big companies were putting a halt to their production. So a lot of people were out of work, and it would be a tough time for artists to get in. So I'm so grateful and thankful that during that hard time, Page One Comics was born from that, like from the ashes, like here comes our, we breathe life into our dragon eggs, and yeah, it's a Game of Thrones. I gotta stop watching Game of Thrones reference, but
no, don't stop doing that.
I know. So when my daughter comes, she's like, Dad, give me some life advice. Well, you see, Khaleesi was a very young woman, and I'm going to give you guys some Game of Thrones now. But so Page One Comics got birth from that. We said, Joe Wills, we could not believe this guy wasn't working. Somebody didn't have him. We grabbed him as soon as we saw him. He was interested in working with us. We teamed him up with another writer who I said that other partner had a different model and direction that he wanted to go in as far as like branding and business. So, we parted ways. We're still friends. He's still doing things in comics, and we're still doing Page One. But he's no longer part of Page One, but he's still our friend. And so, we still support his projects and stuff. And so then we thought, well, we lost the writer, and we had tons of writers out there who were submitting in their work. But Joe said, hey, I like to take this opportunity, and I like to pitch my ideas. He's got way better ideas than I did when I came up with Veil of Night. We love what he's doing. And like you said, I mean, it's changed from this concept. It's shifting more. So we're going to do a new cover. Really, to be honest, we love this guy. So anything he wants, man. If he says, I want to do a new cover, we're like, do a new cover.
Nice.
And Joe, about a half hour ago, you asked a question. That I wanted to respond to part of that, where you asked what is it that we're doing different, and Jimmy touched on some of it, but one of the things is that with the community that we're building, that we are just as supportive of them as they are of us. We have, for example, we've got this one kid, Atomic Art. He's 15, maybe 14, 15. Yeah. And his art is incredible. He's so much better artist than I'm ever going to be. And it's just cool that he's part of the family. He's contributing things for us, and we're supporting his art too, because we're giving him a platform and putting him in front of people that maybe he wouldn't ordinarily be able to. And so, Mark said it too, we're making connections for people that otherwise they might not be able to make. So we're not making it all about us. We're making it about just the community in general, and again, supporting everyone as much as they can support us. And when you were asking about what the next step is, another thing Jimmy and I talked about was, what are we going to do after the campaign? we meet our goal, if we exceed our goal, and the answer is we're going to invest right back into the next book, the next step. Instead of trying to sit back and live off of that, we're going to just roll it right back into the company and continue to. I've already written the second issue. I've got several more plotted, and we're just going to keep going with it.
That's what.
Well, so what I keep hearing, what I understand about page one is it's really a matchmaking service for artists. That's really the bottom line. So that's what you guys are doing. And I think
in a way, it feels like that. Yeah,
guys are
like
working
like
on-
Well, we
swiping left.
yeah, swipe left.
Yeah.
You know what we did for
Exactly. It'll be like, so first you're looking for you want a writer, and you want a artist, an inker that draws
Next one randomly.
balls. Really well dragons.
we
You
also
must
got.
like drawing dragons.
Oh yeah, no, I mean
No,
the
it's
Dragon's
great,
gonna be
though.
our
Like,
flagship
hey, Joe,
title.
I've on a lot of live streams, but I've never seen your artwork. That's amazing. Just throwing it out there. Like, I love your work. I haven't seen your work yet, but I've seen you on Jimmy's a lot of his podcasts, a lot of his videos and stuff. So it's really good to see that cover is just fire. That's amazing work, Joe.
Thank you. Thank you.
Joe's work is really cool. I love his artwork.
And
Thank
it was colored by
It's really cool.
it was colored by Andrew Dollhouse. He did the color work on
Who was
that.
the colorist? Sorry.
Andrew Dollhouse.
Oh.
He colored Bloodshot on Valiant. He also colors for DC Comics. And so when we found Atomic Art, we want to support him. We want to help him, improve his artwork, because we didn't have that type of support when we were 15. We also put him in front of Dave Finch. Dave Finch was on my stream, and I said, "Hey, I want you to meet this 15-year-old who's super talented." So I brought in Atomic Art, and I said, "Hey, Dave, meet Atomic Art." So I mean, it like Dave Philpott said. I mean, it's not about us. Dave and I are both kind of the two main guys, but Joe is page one. He is one. It really is us three right here. This is page one partners. Right now, it's kind of me and this guy over here. But so Dave and I, we talked and we said, hey, you know what? Thankfully, we're in a position right now that we don't need the finances from any profits from the Dragon Rage campaign. Why don't we roll it back in and support Page One Comics so that we can support more projects to bring on other artists and writers? Because right now it's hard to break in the industry, especially the way the industry is shifting. It's growing, it's changing directions, and it's so hard for artists right now to get in. So I love what the indie scene is doing. There's so much out there that is so talented. What if we can create a platform like we did for the live stream to bring artists on, but we could do that in print, in comic books, and bring people in our properties. So that's what we're doing. We're investing it back in there. And the next book that we have coming out is that guy. So do you have any of your artwork, Joe, that puts you on the spot? Even the older stuff of Veil of Night.
Well, the older, I have I think a couple of pages from the older script. What? Let me 1 second. I can grab that.
we were so prepared. We're so great. We're so awesome. You can see that we're professionals, guys. Now well,
as somebody who's outside looking in, you've sold me. I know I'm part of the Discord group. I've never been on a Discord before. That was kind of interesting for me. Absolutely love everybody's work. You see every level of artist in there too. People showing their work, getting advice. Some really advanced professional level artists in there as well. Writers. You guys have created that community, and I think I was hooked long before I jumped in. But it's been a pleasure just kind of getting to know everybody individually and getting to know their art. So for me, it's been a blast ever since I got on that first stream with Jimmy and Dave, and was like, oh, cool, let me show my art and tell you a little bit about Comics Cast, what we're doing. So it's been fun. It's been a good ride just hanging out with you guys. So all right, let's see this work from Joe. Whose screen is this? Is this you, Joe?
Yeah, this is mine.
I think he's got control.
Yeah. So this was the original page one. Page one comics. This was the original page one of Veil of Night from Page One Comics, and this was how we were going to start the story. I've changed it a bit since then. This actual character doesn't exist in the story anymore, and the wolves look a little bit different. But for the most part, we still have these characters here. They're called Hex Knights. No spoilers or anything like that. But yeah, they are some rough guys. They're some rough guys. They actually work. They're kind of the minions or the legion that that Mother Knight actually kind of created, and she controls them, and she basically sends them out to do her bidding. So that aspect of the story has remained, but some other aspects have changed. So our first few pages of Veil of Night is going to actually start off with the main character, which I thought was a little bit more coherent in regards to just kind of generally when you watch a movie, you usually want to see the main character before you see ancillary characters or supporting characters. So I knew what the original writer was going for when he wrote it. It was more for kind of setting the mood and kind of introducing us to the world and showing some of the kind of the supernatural or fairy or the kind of magical elements of the story very early in the story. But I found a different way to do that, and it actually showcases the main character Victoria and her mother, which wasn't really spoken of previously. So I wanted to kind of tell that story from that angle rather than from like kind of a third person looking in. I wanted to go from the first person's perspective of Victoria. So you're following Victoria throughout the entire story rather than following not random characters but different characters throughout the story. So you actually really get to see and feel everything that Victoria goes through rather than a lot of behind the scenes things.
Nice. Very nice.
Well, first off, I gotta point out, just looking at the art, like your textures, your world is absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
So yeah, thanks for showing that page. It was pretty amazing.
No
yeah, let me know if you're pulling up.
Really nice artwork right there. Really wonderful artwork.
So,
well, in the meantime, we can flash back to the cover. Just give people an idea again.
Question: Is this shared world across different publications under page one, or how? Because you guys are breaking up for me a little bit. I'm just having a little bit of technical difficulties. But yeah, so is this a shared world across different platforms, different pages that you guys are going to be publishing under page one comics?
We talked about that,
but for myself,
I think Dave and Jimmy can speak more about it. I know we talked about it kind of. It wasn't briefly. We really were thinking of going that direction, but I'm not sure if we landed on whether or not that was going to be the case or not, especially with the new story going on. So I don't know. But yeah, that would really be up to executive decision at that point.
Yeah, I think it's open-ended enough that we could, and we certainly talked about it, and we're early enough in the writing that it would be easy to make that happen. It's just going to, I think, depend on what Joe ultimately ends up doing with Veil of Night, and then I can make anything happen from there. You have to do that with Jimmy, because Jimmy will call you at like 3:00 in the morning and go, "Hey, Dave, I just got this idea, and I'm thinking that you'll have to rewrite everything in issue 1, but it's going to be cool." So yeah, I can make anything happen at this point.
Right.
That's not an exaggeration. Yeah.
I know we had a through line from one story to the other. I might actually continue that same through line. I don't want to say what that was because I didn't know if it was spoiler territory or not. But I think I have some interesting ideas on how to kind of get that same through line that we had before to work in this story as well. That particular character didn't exist in this rewrite, but it can. There's definitely an open spot where that can fit. So yeah, we'll talk about that offline. But yeah, just stay tuned because regardless of what we come up with is going to be awesome, because between Veil of Night and Dragon Rage, I think both stories, they exist in a way where it's up to the reader's interpretation right now. Even you can make them part of the same universe if you wanted to, because of how well the both worlds are going to be fleshed out. So I think everybody will have a lot of fun, even if it was just some fan theories on whether or not how they actually relate. Yeah, we welcome those. So if you got any fan theories on how Veil of Night and Dragon Rage will relate in the future, I'm willing to take those.
I like that too, because then it's just like free ideas. It's like, yeah, that's exactly what we were thinking. It's like, wow, that was really good.
Well, and also, Joe, I'm not sure if you were asking, but Page One Comics has its own IPs, so we don't have creator properties coming in. What we do is we create an IP and we bring creators in. So what I did was Veil of Night, I'm sharing 50% of ownership of the IP with Joe Wills, who's on that side, and Dragon Rage 50% with Dave Philpott on this side. So they own the IP. So when Dragon Rage becomes a Netflix series or HBO or whatever, or Veil of Night, they own 50% of that. No matter wherever these IPs go, they're going to own a percentage.
Nice.
Yeah, so
50-50 right
on
there.
this.
Come on, Joe. Come on, Joe. You gotta say 51-49.
we have a third IP for Page One Comics. It's called South of Olympus, and if you go to southofolympus.com, it takes you to page one right now. But it's with author Joe Ponder. Joe Ponder's written a novel book. He's pitched the idea for it. So he's interested. He wants to do the same thing, same deals that I've done with these two. So I've already got a third one lined up, with people that are really, really interested in this. So there's a lot of talent out there hungry for work. We just need that platform. So by supporting Page One, if you're one of those people out there looking for work, support this, because this is the platform that's offering it back. It's probably one of the few or only platform offering, to bring on new people.
Nice.
I think we're just really excited to see it, because I don't think we're really in this to try to make $1 million. I mean, it'd be wonderful if we made a ton of money off of it, but I really think we're just looking to see the product get out there and to see our ideas come to fruition in the form of a book, and get it out there. So we're really welcoming of other people coming in, helping out, and we come up with the ideas and we put those little children out there and see how they grow. And I think it's another thing that might be making us different, where we're not trying to make a profit. I mean, it's great, but we are, I think, really just trying to create as well.
I'm trying to make $1 million.
Yeah, I am too. I'll be honest. I want to quit my day job and just write full time.
No, actually, believe it or not, now I do. I do have some aspirations. That was a joke, but I do have a day job, and which is part of the reason why we probably haven't seen as much progress as on Dragon Rage. Because I look over at Jimmy, I'm like, doggone it, Jimmy, you're making me look bad. I'm like, every time I look up, he's got like 6 or 7 pages done. I'm like, what? But that was just yesterday.
It's the amphetamines.
So, I come home from my day job and I at first I was drawing, but now it's typing on the keyboard, and I'm like, this is different, and I stay up to 2:00 in the morning trying to make sure that the story is flowing well, and then if I have any artistic projects that I need to finish, because I have a couple commissions that I do every once in a while, just to keep the lights on and get those taken care of. But for the most part, it's all Veil of Night. As a matter of fact, I usually have my Scrivener open all the time. It's always up. So that way I don't even turn my computer off. I just, as soon as I sit down, it's automatically up, so I can just start typing whenever I get an idea. So yeah.
What I like though is that Page One's already been established as people know that we're hard workers. People can actually view in. I mean, they can be voyeur and just like watch our live stream and peek in on me in my studio. Almost I was streaming almost daily, but now I'm going to cut it down to about twice a week so I can get even more work done. And I've been reading posts from different people, and they're the thing they say is like, wow, look at the progress that's going on with Dragon Rage, and look at how far these guys are getting so fast. And so I think that's one of the things that's really people can already see is the hard work that's involved in Page One. And I mean, even though we don't see Joe on the live streams, because he's really working, he's spending every extra minute that he has. he's keeping us up to date, sending stuff into us. It's just like I'm saying. I mean,
Yeah.
I was like,
It's just it's hard to show progress to the public when you're writing a script, and Dave can speak to this because it's like you just be giving away plot points. You just like here's a snippet of page 7,
and you,
like,
you find out she was a ghost the whole time.
right, the whole time it was a dream. It was a dream the whole time.
I have the same issue. I mean, it's like on the Discord channel. I haven't posted anything new for the past month. And it's because I'm so used to sketching stuff up and putting it out there. And it's like, no. I've been working on pages and other stuff that I can't show. And it's sort of like, I get twitchy. And because the first thing I did was, after I was done with the pages, I did a Trago sketch.
Sometimes I'll sketch random stuff just so I can show, I'm still out here, I'm still doing art. I'll post it on my Instagram or something like that. I have some friends here in St. Louis, Ink and Drink Comics. They do anthologies where they just do like 8-page, like very short stories per artist writer combo. And for me, it's just me. I usually don't work with another writer or another artist on those, but it's just like a little short story, like 5 pages or whatever the case is, just to keep the drawing chops up. Because if you stop drawing for a while, it's like, oh my goodness, I don't know what's going on. How do I do this?
If you make a backlog, you draw a whole bunch of stuff before you get onto the next project, so that once in a while you can just flip something out there on Instagram or on Twitch, like.
But you know how artists are, though. Artists, if you draw something a month ago and then you want to put it out today, you're looking at it like, I need to fix this. That doesn't look right. There's always that kind of that mentality where it's like, this isn't good enough yet, and then you end up noodling with something that you probably should have been done with a long time ago.
I found myself doing that too a lot when I was like when I was in college and whatnot. I did this grandiosely nice self-portrait for some strange reason, and when I was finally ready to like show it off, I was like, "Ooh, no." I'm like back to the portfolio you go, drawing, but like drawing bad and whatnot and so forth. And I was also drawing my comic books at the time, and I'm like, I usually had to like, oh god, that does not look like a hand. I'm like, no.
That's why I respect Jimmy, the fact that he does all of his stuff live, and I'm like, dude, like even if he messes up, you see where he messed up, and then he goes back, he fixes it. Like, he does everything, like the whole process from blank white page to
wow, okay.
Like
I used to do that too. It's like
everybody, like, with no fear at all. It's like
I used to do that too. It's like I was like, oh, that's not work. Actually, I think I kind of like just other than I could just strip the panel altogether at that point. I'm like, no, like, but let's try that again. Whatnot. So forth.
Well, when I started live streams, I hadn't drawn live like that on television or YouTube. I'm so old, I'm saying television, but live on the internet. So I thought I want to draw live. Why am I scared? I used to get in. I used to be a boxer. I was in boxing tournaments. You know what I mean? If I could do that, I can get up here and draw. There's nobody swinging back at me. And so I just started drawing. And actually, to be honest, I feel like my best work is done live. I'd encourage everybody to do it because you're much more conscious of your work and when there's an audience out there. And that first time is scary, but anybody wants to come in and draw live. We have Saturday open streams. Come on in and hang out. Pop open your monitor. Start drawing. Start practicing live. Joe Wills does it too. He draws live on there. He's done stuff, but he's really good. I think this is the page we drew live on a 9-hour stream. I think we did 9 hours.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't realize it took me that long, but yeah, we did this one live. I did some like fixing of it, like off stream or whatever. I was gonna say off panel, off stream, and I'm actually still going to be using this particular page because it's just big enough that it actually fits still within the original script. And it introduces some of my antagonists here in the story. So the Hex Knights here, which Jimmy actually created them from the beginning. They were part of like the original brief for the story, and we just wanted to definitely going to keep those in because they're part of the original story. But I wanted to kind of give them more ways to emote, because right now I kept getting even on like Twitter and Facebook and places where I posted like this particular image, I kept getting the comparison to Skeletor, which I was like, I want to step away from the Skeletor. I love the idea that they're like skeleton warrior type situation, but I'm going to give them some more facial features where they can actually emote, and because there's going to be some very there's some story bits that I want them to be able to perform better. And,
for today's generation, emote means like emoticon. Just so you guys know, they can do.
Right.
Well, I think the Skeletor thing is because of the contrast between the skull and the body, right? Because those things, I mean, if you look at them, they're skeletons, but man, they're awfully thick skeletons. Like they got a lot of starch in their diet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those boys are hitting protein bars or something.
Definitely. I mean, and I wanted to give a reason and almost a backstory behind why they look the way they do, and kind of almost not necessarily an origin, but just a reason why they exist in the first place, and how they came to be. So that's definitely something that's in the new script, so we can kind of get more context. I mean, because there's a lot of stories where we see a bad guy or evil entity, and we never find out like what happened, like how did they become to be. Those stories are cool. I just like to have a little bit more kind of backstory into the lore of the world. It kind of just pulls you in a little bit more and lets you know how the world really developed, and basically how these characters kind of basically just run through this world where there's so many things that are magical and things that they don't understand and things that they have to learn about, things they have to kind of traverse to get around in order to accomplish the goals that that they are set out to accomplish. So, but yeah, I wanted to definitely have them emote a little bit more. As a matter of fact, I think I might even use.
So if you guys are wondering out there, Johnny Cage is he's a moderator over on our live stream at Page One Comics. He's also our professional heckler. So if you guys ever watch our live stream, Johnny Cage not only moderates, but he also trolls himself on our streams. So he'll heckle, and then we go back and forth. We have this banter back and forth.
Nice.
In case you guys are wondering, he's actually part of the family. So a part of the Page One family.
Yeah, and if you can go back to that shot.
If you've seen television, Boomer, crazy.
Yeah. He calls me Boomer. I'm like, I'm not that old, man. I'm Generation X.
No, eat bread. yeah, the skeletons eat bread. Yeah, they definitely
do.
Eat their carb.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, I mean, our generation got inspired by Saturday morning cartoons, all right? So catch up.
Yeah.
Most definitely. Yeah. And to be honest, it's funny because I went back and watched some of those Saturday morning cartoons, and a lot of them don't hold up. And I'm like, did I really like this a lot? The intros were great though. The intros were great.
Some of them. I remember drawing. I used to draw gargoyles when I was a kid. Like, I don't know, I must have been like 9 or something like that.
Yeah.
And that's
like Goliath.
I'll fight anybody on that one.
I mean, Goliath is definitely really cool. As a matter of fact,
I mean, it's an inspiration for Dragon Age too. I draw from all that, all the stuff that I enjoyed. But I have my screen. If you want to share my screen real quick, I can just while Joe looks for what the artwork that he's looking for.
Yeah, I got it up.
He got it. Okay.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
That's very
That's I think the first piece that he showed us.
I need that as a poster in my
it's a little dark on the screen. I don't know, but yeah, it's cool.
And that's at joewillsart.com.
So I've never had payments for doing the show before. This will be a payment for being on the show.
Yeah, rent money.
And speaking of Saturday morning cartoons, I think Jimmy
awesome,
didn't you have it?
Man, you're killing nostalgia for me.
Yeah, that was kind of my niche when I was doing cons, when cons was a thing before COVID, obviously. But yeah, it was kind of a thing. That was what I kind of specialized in. I would draw nostalgic characters in my own style. So everybody would basically be muscle bound and kind of like jacked. That was kind of what I kind of leaned into, and a lot of people like that. So, and it's fun. It's fun to do too, because a lot of people don't have like they'll have their
Calvin
envisioned.
Hobbes.
Yeah. I was doing the Calvin and Hobbes, and then I did the Spaceman Spiff, and then but as you know, when Calvin is Spaceman Spiff, Hobbes isn't there, but I decided to add the Hobbes in there because of when the person that I was doing a commission for, they were like, well, hey, can you do me a Calvin and Hobbes commission? I was like, cool, but can you put them in Spaceman Spiff? I'm like, all right, that's cool. So I did Spaceman Spiff by himself, and she was like, well, where's Hobbes? And I was like, well,
Yeah.
when he's being Spaceman Spiff, Hobbes isn't there. She's like, well, can you add him in there? I'm like, sure, I'll do that. And then so I made Spaceman Spiff and Commander Hobbes. So that was where that kind of came from. But yeah, some of these are a bit older. My art style's changed since then, but I have them up here because they are still prints that I sell. But yeah, this one is one of my pride and joys. I did this one. I did a version of this one back in like
Just nice.
2000. I want to say 2008, 2007, 2008, and it was bad. I looked at it like recently. I'm like, oh my goodness, I need to redo this one. So at first it was just Goliath and Hellboy fighting, and I think they were in like a Gothic cemetery or something like that. But I decided to go ahead and go with the whole team of gargoyle characters.
Broadway and Lexington.
Broadway, Lexington.
Nice.
Wait, let's see. Broadway, Lexington. Let's see if we can name all of them. Brooklyn, right? Brooklyn, Broadway, Lexington, Goliath, Hudson, Bronx. There we go.
Yeah, that's it.
But yeah, so there's that. But we can get back to page one.
Well, first off, if you're gonna get into names, you gotta start off with it's a trick question because none of them have names.
Technically, yes. Like, what do you call each other?
For the record.
Yeah.
We look different.
But all right. But to tie this back to what we're talking about, though, like, okay, you said a lot of this stuff doesn't hold up. A lot of the '90s cartoons, '80s cartoons, the Saturday morning stuff, they were flashes. They looked cool. Like, what was it? The one, the Eagles in space, whatever they were called.
Silverhawks.
Silverhawks, right?
Yeah.
So that was cool. It had good music. It could sell toys, but did it have a good story? I would argue Silverhawks is probably up there as one of the better stories. But the point is, you can have something that looks cool, but at the end of the day, it's got to be a good story too. And that's really what people back to keep reading the comics, to keep watching the cartoons, all this sort of stuff. So
exactly.
So that just to do a little segue back into comics and what we're doing. Like, I love talking with artists because for me, that's what it's all about, trying to figure out where people come from. But I love the fact that all you guys kind of came together and then found each other and created the studio. So I'm really excited about keep hearing from you guys, seeing what you guys have to offer. I'm going to give you guys, we got about 5 minutes left or so. So let's go ahead and replug what we're doing with what you guys are doing with Page One Comics, the campaign, where people can go to find you guys time. And maybe, just maybe,
yes,
we could have Mark say a couple of words about what you guys are paid for.
It's okay, Mark. He'll put me on blast too, probably.
He did when you were.
You're allowed to
out
talk, Mark. It's okay. It's okay.
You
We're here. You're under mixed company now, so we know if Jimmy yells at you and hits you and stuff.
No.
He needs a safe word.
Yeah.
Right.
In the meantime, if you'd like to share my screen, we can show some artwork on the screen for viewers.
Yeah, I got you. There we go.
And this, Joe referenced earlier about drawing live. So we draw live a lot on our art stream, and this was done live. This is one of them. It's done in Clip Studio Paint. And as Mark said, I mean, Mark draws live as well. He's sketches stuff. And Mark, you're mostly traditional, aren't you?
I am mostly traditional. I've tried digital, but yeah, it's like trying to draw on a window. So, but that's my tablet probably. If I had a better sort of setup for it, then I might enjoy it. But no, I'm traditional, so I go through the pains and mistakes of having to erase stuff out, to redraw it, and muddying up my page. and then trying to scan it on an 8.5 by 11-inch scanner. It's a nightmare.
And so the progress, since I'm digital and Joe's digital, we can show people what we're doing. You know, they can see what they're about to invest in, what's going on, see the progress in there. And even though that we're doing an Indiegogo campaign, we're still, I mean, this is professional work. So every day we're devoting something has to be done for Dragon Rage, or, you know, like Joe does on his every available free moment he has, he's working on Vela Knight. So even though it's Indiegogo, we're not going to be that type of person on Indiegogo you're going to see the comic a year after you backed it. We're going to finish the book first. So all the artwork is done. And Mark already turned in his pages. He's got 5 pages already knocked out. They're already turned in. So it's off to Sarah now. So Sarah, we're putting we're putting stress on you now. Fire under your bum. No, but Sarah's great. She's fast. She's good colors. We don't want to rush anybody because there's still time. So we want people to do the quality work. So the book will be done. What we need backers for is we need backers to get the funding for printing and to have the book colored, to pay Andrew Dawhouse, who is amazing colorist, who is a good guy, wants to work with us, but we want to pay. You know, we don't expect people to work for free. And that's what we're trying to create here. Is we're trying to create work for people and exposure, and so that's what we need backers for. But the backers get extra goodies. So there's a David Finch cover, and then there's going to be a black and white. Somebody asked me the other day, said, "Hey, I love the black and white book. Can you offer a black and white like this with all your line work?" And I said, "You know what? I'm going to do that and put the Dave Finch cover pencils of Dave Finch without the logo. Do a virgin page Dave Finch cover, not a virgin Dave Finch. Sorry, Dave, if you're listening. We're going to offer that on Indiegogo, guys. No, it's David Finch virgin cover, meaning that there's no graphics on there, no inks, no color, just his pencils in the raw. And then the book inside will be black and white, but it will be lettered inside. So it's still a comic book you can read, but you get to see what it looked like, the artist edition, you know, and that's going to be a special tier. That's why I tell people we're only going to print 25 of those. And so that's the number we're at right now. We're thinking only 25 of those. And we got way over that. People already signed up for the mailing list. So that's a small percentage of the people on our mailing list that are going to be able to get it. So get on that mailing list. You get notified right away. As soon as you get the notice that we're going live, boom, get there. You want that virgin cover, special artist edition, get it, sign for it, you know, be the first to get it because it's extremely limited. And there's going to be a lot of offers like that. So that's why I say don't hesitate. And I post the link again in the private chat. If you guys want to post the link again to people for the Indiegogo campaign.
Yeah, we're definitely going to have, just for everyone who's watching or who watch later, the link to Indiegogo is going to be up. It's going to definitely be in the chat. So watch for that. Also, we'll bring up the Indiegogo one more time. Alan Michael, make sure the Indiegogo's up, please. But just to recognize this page right here, can you go back up, Jimmy? Let's go. I'm going to bring back. Oh, you already shot it down.
All right. I didn't. I can bring it back on again.
Yeah, that change this panel. Just for all the boys and girls at home, if you're looking at here we go. If you're looking for somebody who just this representation right here, just shows exactly how professional this whole book is going to be. I watched when you did this, when you were doing this layout, and this is a complex, story-driven layout for a comic book page, and on top of that shows advanced perspective, it shows accurate perspective, it shows accurate freaking rendering. Like, there's so many Indiegogo books out there, indie books, like, that may have okay writing or okay art. Like, this is top level stuff. So if I can't, you know, maybe I'm too close to the project, I'm too friendly with you guys, but this is really stuff, and I would definitely market this and tell everybody at home, like, you guys should really be getting on this book, because that's just, as an artist, just looking at it, you know, I'm blown away by the amount of, you know, input that you put into this, the amount of time and energy, because you could have done this and it could have been a lot less, but you chose to put in the work, and you
it was a lot less in my mind when I wrote it. Yeah.
It's like, you know, a guy looks through a scope at a couple of, you know, ships on the horizon.
Did you read the script?
Jimmy's like, oh, wait.
That's how the script's written.
Yeah, it's pretty much what I wrote in the script.
Yeah.
And then
Go ahead and pull up the Al Michael. Go ahead and pull up the their Indiegogo page if you could. Unless you want to show this page.
All
Go
right.
ahead.
just to give people an idea of, it's not just page one. It's not just page one in Dragon Rage that is, where I put in all my energy. It's every page. Every page is, I'm trying to outdo myself from the last one. So this is another page, and this is what the quality of the work, looks like. And I hope that people enjoy it as much, because you invest something and you get a book. I want people to hopefully, not after done reading it, I want them to enjoy the artwork and look at it. And I know that the story's great because I've gotten to read the story, and I know people are going to go back and want to reread it and catch little Easter eggs and things that are in there. But I also want the artwork to last over time. I want people to look at it and go, wow, I didn't know he drew this little fire. And in that fire, is that really a butterfly in there? They're burning a butterfly? There isn't, guys, but I'm just saying.
I was about to zoom in. I was curious.
And so I have fun, creating these characters because Dave will kind of give a description, and then I can really do anything with these guys. So I gave one guy a hawk, a bird, and I thought, well, he's got to have real earthy fur, and he's got to have like kind of animalistic look to him. And I love the guy from The Hills Have Eyes, where he's bald and he's that really piercing eyes. So that's who I modeled the features after.
Michael Berryman was his name.
Yeah.
Oh, is that his name? See, that's why we gotta have Mark talk more, man. Mark's knowledgeable.
I am a library of useless information.
and so a lot goes into creating your own book. You have to make interesting characters, and one thing is that we've got merchandise out there, but if nobody cares about the characters, then no one's going to care about the merchandise. So you've got to make interesting characters visually when you design them. They've got to have great story. They got to be relatable. And then after people have fallen in love with these characters, then they're going to want more merch. So even after the Indiegogo, there's talk of us doing more merchandise on our website for those that become fans of the book. But we do want to offer merch up front for those that are investing in it to have something special that others didn't get. When Dragon Rage becomes that Netflix animation, those that backed us can say, hey, I was there. I backed it. I've got the early edition, and I watched the live streams. I won one of those free early 12 pagers. and you said you won, Joe.
Oh, yeah.
Won.
I did.
Yeah, I think you won the.
Nice.
I think you won the cover from that Mark did, and those are Dave. Dave hasn't sent his out yet, only because we were waiting on some of the others to turn in their addresses and special packaging. We want to package them very nicely for you guys, so we were waiting on little things like special type of little things that we do to package them. Those that have gotten them already out there can tell you, we put a lot of care. We put them in boxes. We put them in bubble wrap. They're bagged and boarded. They come in a page one comics tape on the outside. People tell us they don't even want to open them. It's so pretty. They're like, they take pictures of them before they open it.
Well, I know I'm waiting for mine to come in. I'm assuming it's in the mail now. And once it gets in, I'm going to take all the happy snaps with it, get it all over my Facebook page. I'm excited to see it. I'm excited just to do reviews on the book when it actually comes out full on. Like, it's going to be good times. It's going to be a good book. I've been wanting a book like this for a long time because when I watched the Matthew McConaughey movie, I don't know if you guys remember that one. It's
oh yeah, Reign of Fire.
Reign of Fire. Yeah, I've had a story kind of bouncing around in my head for the longest time, creating a half dragon badass guy. And I'm like, I saw you guys do this. I was like, cool. I don't have to write it now. Perfect. So it's gonna be good times. It's gonna be fun. That being said, hey, Alan Michael, do you have their page up on the secondary?
Yeah.
All right, good. Okay.
Got the one.
All right.
That's it.
The one, Jimmy. Do you want to walk it down? Walk the dog for us a little bit. One more.
Well, we'll let Dave Philpott. He's the writer.
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, so yeah, with the Indiegogo page, we pretty much have at the very top of it there, we've got a video that you can watch that Jimmy put together that is promo for the comic. It's really neat. It's got some good visuals and everything there. We really want people to come to it and drop in an email address. We have several right now. I'm really shocked just how many on the pre-launch page, and I'm really excited by that. I'm really appreciate everybody's input on it. And then just a little bit about me and Jimmy, about a little bit about the story as well. As you go down, again, you can see some of the artwork there. Jimmy and Andrew Dawhouse's cover. And if you go down a little further, I think there's another cover that Jimmy did. There's a great video that we posted recently just about inside look at the story itself. And we also have another video that Jimmy did about page one. And then there are a couple of panels of the interior art there with Trego. And yeah, that's pretty much it there. I think there's a link at the very bottom too for the digital preview. So if you see the free preview and then you see the little global icon there, if you click on that, it'll take you right to the 12-page preview on the website. So there's a lot of stuff just on the pre-launch page. And we're hoping to get the actual Indiegogo launch probably September, I think, Jimmy. I think we're targeting. Yes, we should have everything together by then. We'll have the merchandise together, the tier levels, all that stuff. So be looking for that. But in the meantime, please come just to the pre-launch page and put in your email address so that we can notify you immediately, when we launch it live.
Awesome. All right, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and close it up. I just want to thank everybody from Page One Comics for being on. Jimmy, especially, we've been going back and forth for a long time. You've been a huge supporter of the channel, and I appreciate that. And I love what you've done with your channel. I mean, obviously, I was a fan of yours long before you switched over to this format, but I love that what you kind of created and moved forward with, and this Page One Comics soon to be empire that you're moving into. So thank you for everybody on the team who came on. I just want to make sure that everyone at home is watching or soon to be watching. We will be hosting CromCon at the end of the month. All right, sorry, next weekend, and then that'll be artists from all over. This is your Page One Comics goodies right here. Are we, Jimmy? I'm going to leave this open ended. I'm goodies there. What are we doing with the goodies?
Well, it's your channel, so I'm going to throw in an extra. The button doesn't have the packaging to the button yet. As I showed earlier in the stream, there's a little packaging that comes with this. So we're still waiting on the printer to send out the packaging and all the little wrapper and everything that it goes in. But I'll throw this in with a free 12-page preview, with a bookmark, to however you want to give it away to any of your viewers. It's an adjustable pin.
Why don't we? Ooh.
I got plenty more, guys. Don't worry. There's bags and bags of this stuff.
Right on.
I won't cross the border with this. They're gonna find this stuff in my trunk and be like, "Hey, no, I'm kidding." So we'll ship it to anyone in the U.S. for free, absolutely free to anyone out there. If you want to ask people a question about a dragon, we can ask Reign of Fire, Game of Thrones, anything at all. The last one we asked was what was the type of fox that are foxes, and we were so surprised. So many people answered. And so for anybody who is in the U.S. that wants one, and I'll throw in the extra. I'll throw in a button. You get it early advance button before it just doesn't have the packaging yet. Yeah, do you want to pick somebody at random, one of your Facebook guys, or you want to do it off anywhere? We got.
Well, I think what we'll do is I'm gonna host. I'm gonna post a question after the show, and then we'll see about responses, and then I will reach out. I'll let you know exactly who responded with the answers.
Yeah.
And we'll do a post show. We'll do a post show question, and it'll be based off of, let's say, Saturday morning cartoon that we grew up on. Maybe
that's a good idea.
Character from the Goliath story.
Yeah, from Gargoyles or something.
Best answer. All right, I'll reach out to you. I'll have my people talk to your people, Jimmy, and we'll
they just have them send you the.
But yeah, so that's awesome. I mean, you've been and this isn't new to just this program. You you're doing giveaways, like you said, the whole show. Just want to make sure that people are hearing it now if they're just jumping on. But yeah, so during your live shows that you do, you're doing live art. You're showing the process from Page One Comics and your comic that you're doing now. You're giving away goodies on it from your live broadcast. So on your YouTube channel specifically, right? So where are they going to find you on YouTube to watch all these broadcasts?
Yeah, tonight is our open stream. So it is come on to Page One Comics YouTube channel, hang out with us. Just like this, we hang around, we do some artwork, or you show off your artwork. Like Alan, if you want to come on and show people your work, or because you mentioned you're an artist, and that's how people get exposure from that. Mark came on our stream. He got work with us, and then another creator hired him as well, and Sarah. So they're now doing stuff for other companies. So it's pretty neat. You never know what's going to happen. It's good to get exposure. Got to get out there.
We're mercenary.
Appreciation. Thank you.
All right.
So when is our live stream tonight, Jimmy?
Guys,
6 p.m. Central Standard Time
on Saturday. Next Saturday we're doing CromCon, and then the first Saturday of September, we are doing a massive for a week campaign of giving back and raising money for Golden Fight. We'll have a lot more to follow on that for the next month. But yeah, the next big event is CromCon. We're going to have artists from all over the world in that. We'll be broadcasting that live on Comics Cast for all of next weekend. But that all being said, thank you so much, guys, for being on the show. It was a blast for me. A little bit of technical difficulties. Sorry for falling out and coming back in. But you guys are all great. So thank you so much for being on the show, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Okay.
Thank you.
Appreciation.
All right, guys. We don't do any of the Brady Bunch stuff on this show, but we just say goodbye.